welcome back to Miss B's Academy. I want to thank everyone for watching, liking, and subscribing to my last video. I really, really appreciate it. I teach, but I'm not a teacher. I instruct, but I'm not an instructor. I profess, but I'm not a professor. In this new year, I'm being very careful with my statements. I am present. This video will be about how to stop doing too much. So January the 8th was my brother's birthday. So shout out to my big bro. This day is important because I am finally able to hear and listen to what my CLS coach, Nita, has been saying. So in our Tuesday coaching meetings, we all have things that we bring to the table and we talk about, but she is very conscious about letting us know, stop doing too much, right? You're doing too much. And she's right, especially with me. I don't know about the other coaches, but with me, she's definitely right. So last year, I was promoted with no extra pay that I'm aware of to the LT or coordinator position. Did I ask for this? Absolutely not. This is not how I wanted God to resolve this adult bullying situation. It's not what I asked for at all. So, in my teaching roles, no matter where I am in the world, these are the things that I am. I am funny, punctual, approachable, dedicated, empathic, lovable, fully present, and just completely out of the box. Now you may be asking why? Why am I like this? All, if not most, of my educators were the same. I give to my students what has been given to me, right? That's what I do, right? And I feel good doing that. I mean, as teachers and as parents, we're constantly, giving, right? My mother gave me a lot of the positive things that my grandmother gave her, right? So it just makes sense. In my LT or coordinator role, I'm punctual. I'm attentive. I'm an active listener. I'm a conscious creator. I'm assertive. I'm fully present. I'm innovative, and I'm a problem solver. Right? The way I am with my students is not the way I'm going to be with my team. Okay? So to give you an example of my teaching role, number one, I cannot start a lesson without reading the energetic room. You come in, the girls are tired, they are hungry, the rooms are small and they are stuffy. If that is not addressed, then God will move me to stop a classroom, address the situation, and then after I address the energy, then we can soar and do anything we need to do in the class. I get more feedback, have more engagement in the class. To give you an example of what I'm like in my coordinator role, I've already read the energetic room of the teachers. I had been at this school for a long time, so I already know, right? I also know what our principal expects of and from the teachers, right? So how do I hold space for my team while they already have a lot on their plate? I mean, many of your teachers, and just in any role at any job, you have a lot of things that you're doing. People put a lot of things on your plate. So let me give you an example. This is a long time ago. So I think a couple of Fridays ago, right when we get into class, we get a ton of emails while we're in class teaching. We get an avalanche of messages on Telegram. I didn't have a class, but I was planning, marking, updating on LMS, and now reading all of these messages. After the bell rang from class to dismiss, I copied and pasted a message that said, "Good morning. I know you're busy. The principal sent a ton of messages via Telegram whilst you were teaching. I had a chance to read through them, and this is what she needs. Upload lesson plans, and then there's also the peer observation schedule, which will begin next week. Let me know what time, what date, what grade you'd like your visit to occur." I just sent a gentle reminder. I just felt like you already have a lot to do. Let me just sum up these messages. What's important, and just send it to you. So I sent that, I think, on Friday. So I sent a gentle message on Monday when we returned to school. One person was like, "I don't have any answers. What course is this?" I thought her answer was a little bit strange. I was like, it's not what I'm talking about. And so I said, peer observations, what day, what time, what grade? It was her response that really got me together. Like, it completely just pulled me up by my bootstrap. She replied, and I quote, "That's not your job." And I just smiled. I did, like, I just cracked a smile. I just smiled, right? Because I'm thinking, the first thing I thought was I was taken back first. I was like, whoa. Next, I smiled. I thought, wow, that's right. Finally, I said, the old LT who sits across from her, in the staff room, they sit across from each other. They're like bosom buddies. They complain to each other all the time. So I'm like, they complain to each other about everything. The old, let me just be honest with you. The old LT or the other LTs, didn't do exactly what I did, right? They probably just let their team just, get to it. Their team is very busy, just like all of the other ones. So she was probably thinking, so why is Miss B doing this? Simply because all of my team leaders, my lead teachers, my coordinators, they did that for me. No one must have. And I thought about it, thought to myself, I was like, no one has probably ever done this for them, right? But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, she's right. It's not my job. When I signed my contract to come to this, when I signed my contracts states that I teach. That's what my contract states. It states that I teach. It doesn't state that I take on other roles. My main focus is teaching. And then I had to think about it for a second. Not only was it not my job, but let's face it, you're a teacher. You're teaching 30 hours a week, right? You have 6 classes a day, 5 classes a day, very little downtime, right? And we always get all of these messages right when we're teaching, which I think is completely inappropriate, because first you want me to focus on my lessons and focus on the students, but then you have all of these messages coming through while I'm teaching while I'm teaching, right? So make it make sense, okay? So when that peer observation schedule came out, I was the first one who put my name down on it, right? You can come anytime to any of my classes. I'm teaching English. I have nothing to hide. Am I the best teacher at this school? Probably not. Do I do my best? Yes, I do. Even when I'm not doing my best, I am doing the very best that I can. And then if I were to really think about it, let's be honest. We get observed all the time. We get surprise visits all the time. In my class alone, I get interrupted. I teach about 4 or 5 classes a day. Each one of those classes are interrupted by other teachers, by other students, by administration, and for shenanigans, complete shenanigans, right? People coming in and out, cleaners coming in and out. And then all of a sudden you get surprise visits. So why ask us to do peer observations? Right? It's like we already have so much interruptions in our class. We only have 8 weeks of teaching, right? We have a lot to do, a lot of material to get in 8 weeks of teaching, right? And to be perfectly honest with you, no one really wants peer observations right now because we are focusing on the curriculum. We do have exams coming up in March. March is right around the corner. Do you see how quickly 2023 went by? Like, are people paying attention? But they're not. So I'm gonna end this video. Come to work on time. Do your job to the best of your ability. Mind your business at all times and go home to the life you were blessed with. You are only one person. Stay in your lane.